Yes,
Om
Mataji, you can go ahead.
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayudhirate. Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki. Magyanatimarandasya Gyanajanaslasya Akshurvintamina Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Our Lord Srila Prabhupada. Today's reading will continue from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Liberation is the title for Canto 9, Chapter 14. Title is King Purusha, enchanted by Urvashi. Reading translations only today from verses 1 to 25. Text 1. Srila Shukdev Goswami said to Maharaj Parishad, O king, thus far you have heard the description of the dynasty of the sun god. Now hear the most glorious and purifying description of the dynasty of the moon god. This description mentions kings like Alaya, Purushavaha, of whom it is glorious to hear. Text 2. Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, is also known as Sahasra Shirsha, Pursha. From the lake of his navel sprang a lotus on which Lord Brahma was generated. Atri, the son of Lord Brahma, was as qualified as his father. Text 3. From Atri's tears of jubilation was born a son named Soma, the moon, who was full of soothing rays. Lord Brahma appointed him the director of the Brahmins, drugs, and humanaries. Text 4. After conquering the three worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems, Soma, the moon god, performed a great sacrifice known as the Rajashya Yajna. Because he was very much puffed up, he forcibly kidnapped Brahaspati's wife, whose name was Tara. Text 5. Although requested again and again by Brahaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, Soma did not return Tara. This was due to his false pride. Consequently, a fight ensued between the demigods and the demons. Text 6. Because of enmity between Brahaspati and Sukra took the side of the moon god and was joined by the demons. But Lord Shiva, because of affection for the son of his spiritual master, joined the side of Brahaspati and was accompanied by all the ghosts and hoblings. Text 7. King Indra, accompanied by all kinds of demigods, joined the side of Brahaspati. Thus there was a great fight destroying both the demons and demigods, only for the sake of Tara, Brahaspati's wife. Text 8. When Lord Brahma was fully informed by Angira about it, the entire incident, he severely chastised the moon god Soma. Thus Lord Brahma delivered Tara to her husband, who could then understand that she was pregnant. Text 9. Brahaspati said, You foolish woman, your womb was such meant for me to impregnate, has been impregnated by someone other than me. Immediately deliver your child. Immediately deliver it. Be assured that after the child is delivered, I shall not burn you to ashes. I know that although you are unchaste, you wanted a son, therefore I shall not punish you. Text 10. Sukdev Goswami continued, by Brahaspati's order, Tara, who was very much ashamed, immediately gave birth to the child, who was very beautiful with a golden bodily hue. Both Brahaspati and the moon god Soma desired the beautiful child. Text 11. Fighting again broke out between Brahaspati and the moon god, both of whom claimed, This is my child, not yours. All the saints and demigods present as Tara, whose child and whose child the newborn baby actually was, but because she was ashamed, she could not immediately answer. Text 12. The child then became very angry and demanded that his mother immediately tell the truth. You unchaste woman, he said. What is the use of your unnecessary shame? Why do you not admit your fault? Immediately tell me about your faulty behavior. Text 13. Lord Brahma then brought Tara to a secluded place, and after pacifying her, he asked to whom the child actually belonged. She replied very slowly, "This is the son of Soma, the moon god." Then the moon god immediately took charge of the child. Text 14. O Maharaj Parishad, when Lord Brahma saw that the child was deeply intelligent, he gave the child the name Buddha. The moon god, the ruler of the stars, enjoyed great jubilation because of this son. Text 15 and 16. Thereafter, from Buddha, though the womb of Ila, a son was born named Purava, who was described in the beginning of the ninth canto, when his beauty, personal qualities, magnanimity, behavior, wealth, and power were described by Narad in the court of Lord Indra. The celestial woman Urvashi was attracted to him. Pierced by the arrow of Cupid, she thus approached him. Text 17 and 18. Having been cursed by Mitra and Varuna, the Chastel women Urvashi had acquired the habits of a human being. Therefore, upon seeing Purava, the best of the males whose beauty resembled that of Cupid, she controlled herself and then approached him. When King Purushva saw Urvashi, his eyes became jubilant in the ecstasy of joy, and the hairs of his body stood on end. With mild, pleasing words, he spoke to her as follows. Text 19. King Purava said, O most beautiful woman, you are welcome. Please sit here and tell me what I can do for you. You may enjoy with me as long as you desire. Let us pass our life happily in a sexual relationship. Text 20. Urvashi replied, O most handsome man, who is the woman whose mind and sight would not be attracted by you? If a woman takes shelter of your chest, she cannot refuse to enjoy with you in a sexual relationship. Text 21. My dear King Purushva, please give protection to these two lumps who have fallen down with me. Although I belong to the heavenly planets and you belong to Earth, I shall certainly enjoy sexual union with you. I have no objection to accept you as my husband, for you are superior in every respect. Text 22. Urvashi said, my dear hero, only preparation made in ghee, clarified butter will be my eatables, and I shall not want to see you naked at any time except at the time of sexual intercourse. The great minded king, Purava, accepted these proposals. Text 23. Purava replied, O beautiful one, your beauty is wonderful and your gestures are also wonderful. Indeed, you are attractive to all human society. Therefore, since you have come to your own accord from the heavenly planets, who on earth would not agree to serve a demigoddess such as you? Text 24. Shukdev Goswami continued, the best of human beings, Purava, began freely enjoying the company of Urvashi, who engaged in sexual activities with him in many celestial places, such as Charitrata and Nandana Kanana, where the demigods enjoy. The last text of the day, text 25, Urvashi's body was fragrant as the saffron of a lotus, being enlivened by the fragrance of her face and body. Purava enjoyed her company for many days with great jubilation. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Venudas, Prabhuji, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining for today's Bhagavatam session. And thank you, Sri Radhe Hari Mataji, for reading today's Bhagavatam slokas. Uh, and thank you, Radharani Mataji, for coordinating this call. So we'll start with prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share a few points from Srila Prabhupada's purports for my own purification. So today we are in the section of Bhagavatam 9th Canto, chapter 14, King Pururava, and chanted by Urvashi, slokas 1 to 25. So just to give a background, with the last chapter, we heard the descriptions of the dynasty of sun god. Of course, as part of the current Manu, Shraddha Deva, Vayaswata Manu, his dynasty, so started from sun god, so the Surya Vamsa. So those descriptions we heard in that king, in that dynasty, we heard many great kings like Maharaj Amrisha and King Mandhata's descendants, and then Sagar Maharaj, and then also Bhagirath bringing the Mother Ganga, and then we heard Lord Ramachandra appearing, and so there are great things. And then in the last chapter we heard the dynasty of Maharaj Nimi, so and how Maharaj Nimi is the son of Ikshvaku, so perfected his life even though he was cursed by Vasistha Mahamuni, and he was not willing to take again another material body. So the sages churned him, his body, and then from him a king was born, and his name was Janaka. So in that dynasty, we heard how Mother Sita Devi's father, Siradwaja, was also born. And of course, Siradwaja's daughter is Mother Sita Devi. So like that, we heard the descriptions of Sun dynasty. And from this chapter onwards, Sukadeva Goswami is narrating the dynasty of moon god, Chandravamsa. And in this chapter, we also hear, as part of that dynasty, the great king Pururava. So in the first sloka, we see that Sukadeva Goswami mentioning that that so far he had narrated the descriptions of sun god, and now he is going to um, mention about the descriptions of the dynasty of moon god, so which is glorious and purifying, because in this dynasty kings like Pururava is also another name is Aila, so because he is the son of Ila. So we'll hear about them. Of course, in this dynasty we hear the Supreme Lord Krishna also appeared. That also we'll hear. And in the the dynasty is starting, how it started, like we all know that Garbhodak Sai Vishnu in this planet when he entered, so he's sleeping on the Garbhodaka ocean, and from his lotus navel, so a lotus flower came out, and on top of that lotus flower, so Lord Brahma appeared. That we heard in the earlier sections also, in the previous cantos. And from Lord Brahma, so there are many great personalities he created, appeared, and one of them is Atri Mahamuni. So he's a great personality. And from Atri Mahamuni's tears of jubilation, we see that the Soma appeared, the moon god appeared. And this was also mentioned in the fourth canto. Prabhupada mentions in the purport, quoting that or referring that sloka 4.1.15, saying that Atre Patni Anasuyatri Jagne Suyashasaha Sutan Dattam Durvasam Somam Atmesha Brahma Sambhavan. So he's saying that from Atri Muni through his wife Anasuya, so these three personalities appeared, born. So who is that? Moon god, Soma and Durvasa Mahamuni and Dattatreya. So of course, Soma is benedicted. So he was born through the benediction of Lord Brahma, and Durvasa Mahamuni is through the benediction of Lord Shiva, and Dattatreya is through the benediction of Lord Vishnu. And in that sloka, Prabhupada mentions that Anusuya was impregnated by the tears of Atri Mahamuni. And Prabhupada also mentions that in some other scriptures also we hear that the moon god was born from the mind of the Supreme Lord. Chandrama Manasa Jataha, like that. So when we hear that, in one place we see that moon god appeared from the tears of Atri Mahamuni. And in another place we see that moon god appeared or born from the mind of the Supreme Lord. So it may look like a contradictory or might be confusing us, but Prabhupada clarifying saying that it is not contradictory because so we have we are currently in the Lord Brahma's 50th year, and there are so many Mahayugas are passed away. So in one of the millennium, so moon god appeared or born from the mind of the Supreme Lord, and in the current millennium, moon god appeared from the tears of Atri Mahamuni. So like that, Prabhupada clarifies it. So we should not be confused or it's not any contradictory like that. And we hear that how the moon god, so after he conquering the three worlds, so generally when somebody becomes very powerful, so it is possible in this material world that one will become puffed up, he will become pride. So of course, Krishna is also teaching through this pastime that we see that when moon god after conquering the three worlds and due to that he became puffed up, what he did is he forcibly kidnapped his spiritual master wife, Brihaspati's wife, so named Tara. Because Krishna is teaching a lesson to all of us through these great personalities that there is a possibility one could become puffed up. So when they are situated in high position or great wealth and they have a powerful name and fame, so anything like, a great position like that, So like here we see that moon god, because of his pride, so he kidnapped his spiritual master wife, Tara. So we hear this, the pride is one of the thing that one should be very cautious because it's one of the anartha, the material pride, the false pride. So it may make us to offend great personalities. Like we hear in the scriptures also in Bhagavatam earlier Canto what Indra. So when Durvasa Mahamuni came and offered a garland as his blessings to Indra, what Indra did because of his pride, so he gave that garland to his elephant Airavata. And Airavata being an elephant, it threw it into the on the ground and crushed it. And Durvasa Mahamuni became very angry and he cursed that he will lose all the kingdom. So due to that, so Indra's position, he lost the heavenly planet kingdom. So that's why it's very instructive from this pastimes that as a practicing devotee, we also need to check ourselves time to time and see whether these anarthas are going down or it's increasing it. So like that time to time to see that, do I have false pride or is it going down like that? So many pastimes, like, Bali Maharaj also, because he was puffed up or proud, little proud. So after he defeated the demigods and won the heavenly planets, and Krishna doesn't like to see his devotees having these anarthas. So that's why mercifully he'll come and he will remove. Like how Krishna also saved Indra from the anartha pride by lifting the Govardhana, by creating this pastime of Govardhana hill lifting. So Krishna subdued the pride of the Indra, so saved from that anartha. So similarly, he saved from Bali Maharaj also from that little pride they have it. He has it. So that's why Kunti Maharaj prays that so all these opulences, like whether it is high birth or great wealth or name and fame or positions. So these are sometimes, most of the times, in a general condition living entity like me. So they will not, they will create a stumbling blocks in us in progressing the path of bhakti. So it will not create sincere feelings or offering humble prayers towards the Supreme Lord. So that's why we have to be very careful. So looking at all these things and trying to progress in the path of bhakti. So we have to be very cautious all these things. And we see that here, though the spiritual master Brihaspati, Brihaspati, who is the spiritual master of moon god, so he requested again and again to his disciple Soma, but he did not return because of the false pride. So due to that, a fight ensued between the demigods and demons. So you see that, because of that false pride, he was not willing to follow the order of his spiritual master, so disobeying it. Not only that, he went up to the extent that he's ready to fight with all the demigods also. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that in the next sloka that since there is enmity between Brihaspati and Sukracharya, what Sukracharya did is he took this opportunity and took the side of the moon god so that he can create some problem to Brihaspati like that. But Lord Shiva, who is affectionate for the son of his spiritual master. So this Brihaspati is the son of Angira, Angira Mahamuni. And Angira Mahamuni, Lord Shiva received spiritual knowledge from Angira Muni. That's why Angira Muni is also considered as the spiritual master for Lord Shiva. So because Lord Shiva received the spiritual knowledge from Angira Muni, and Brihaspati is the son of his spiritual master, and he has a natural affection towards Brihaspati. So he joined the side of Brihaspati and accompanied by all the ghosts and the hobgoblins. and And in the next sloka, we see that Indra accompanied by all demigods joined side the Brihaspati, and there was a fight. So we see that, what kind of destruction brought due to the moon god's false pride. So many people are killed, great fight, destroying both demons and demigods, only for the sake of Tara. So that's why these anarthas sometimes, when it is predominating, it will destroy so many things. We see in the Ramayana also, right? Because of the lust of Ravanasura. So not only he was destroyed, but many of his family members and his citizens are all got destroyed. So that's why it's very cautious for us to see where we are and how are we doing with subduing this anarthas. That can only be as possible if we progress in the path of bhakti. And then Angira Mahamuni went and informed Lord Brahma about this situation. And then Lord Brahma was unhappy with the moon god and he chastised severely. So, and due to that, moon god returned Tara, and Lord Brahma delivered Tara to her husband. And at that time, Brihaspati could understand that Tara is pregnant. And now Brihaspati is chastising his wife for saying that so her womb is meant for to pregnant by him, so not by any other one, because she is the wife of Brihaspati. So now because she was impregnated by some other one, so he is saying that deliver the child immediately, and though she is unchaste, so she is not going to punish because Tara wanted a son. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that, generally a chaste woman, so it's the duty of chaste woman to get son or daughter through the her wedded husband. So in this case, Tara's husband is Brihaspati. So Tara should impregnate by Brihaspati, but because she impregnate by Soma, so she is mentioned here as unchaste. And also Tara was fearful that her husband will punish. So that's why here Brospati is assuring that so he will not punish because Brospati also wanted a son. And then Sukadev Goswami continued here saying that though Tara was ashamed, so immediately she gave birth, and that child is very beautiful. And then we see that he is golden bodily hue, and is beautiful and golden bodily hue. Both Bruhaspati and moon god wanted. So then again there is a fight. So they were both fighting, saying that both of them wanted. So that child. And then all the saints and demigods, so they asked Tara, so whose son is it? Of course, it's a very awkward situation for a woman to tell that he is the son of Soma, who is not her husband. So that's why she is ashamed to answer immediately. And then Lord Brahma, and then we see that, here the boy was speaking, that boy who was delivered was speaking that, and he's chastising his mother or demanding, saying that, to tell the truth. So what is the unnecessary shame, and why do you not admit your fault? Immediately tell me about your faulty behavior. Then Brahma, understanding the situation, he took Tara to a secluded place. That's how the story goes, like, pacifying her and asked whose child it is. Then she revealed that so she is the son of Soma. So then the moon god took charge of the child immediately, and we see that Brahma, seeing that this child is very intelligent, he gave the child name as Buddha. Buddha means very intelligent. And so moon god took in charge of that child, and he became very happy. And then we see that the dynasty continuing from moon god to Buddha, and from Buddha, his wife, his name is Ila. So that's why the son who was born from the womb of Ila is also called as Aila. So, and his name is Pururava. And now we hear the pastimes of Pururava, like, he's very beautiful, he's had a great qualities, he's wealthy, powerful, like that. And all these descriptions were narrated by Narada Muni in the court of Lord Indra. And at that time, this celestial woman Urvasi was there. We hear Urvasi appeared from the thighs of Lord Naranarayana when the Cupid and the demigods were trying to distract Lord Naranarayan's austerity. And at that time, from their body, so many beautiful women appeared, and even the demigods were attracted by that. Of course, at that time, Urvasi, because she appeared from the Uru of Lord Naranarayana, so her name is Urvasi. So she was presented to the demigods. So that's how she joined with the heavenly planets dungeons. So this Urvasi attracted by hearing the personal qualities and magnanimity behavior of the Pururava. And also she was cursed by Mitra and Varuna. So she acquired the habits of a human being, even though she is a celestial woman, but she acquired the human beings due to the curse. And then in that planet, seeing the Pururava, so she, whose beauty is resembled that of Cupid, she controlled herself and approached him. And then when Pururava saw Urvasi, he also got attracted to Urvasi. And so he became very happy, jubilant, and ecstasy of joy, and the hairs on his body stood. And of course, these symptoms also appear when one is progress in the path of bhakti. So there hair will also stood on end. So then he started speaking, saying that, so we see that the power of opposite gender attraction, So both Urvasi and Pururava, they were attracted each other. And we hear that, we see that Pururava is also saying that, offering to Urvasi that, tell what can I do for you, and you may enjoy as long as you desire, and we can pass our time happily in opposite gender union, like that. So Urvasi also here replying that, agreeing that So he's a handsome man, and if a woman takes shelter of your chest, she cannot refuse to enjoy with you in a sexual relationship. Prabhupada also mentions that in the purport that when a beautiful man and beautiful woman unite together and embrace other, then there's nothing in these three worlds which will check their sexual relationship. So Prabhupada quotes, En Maithuna Adigrahame Adi Sukham Hi Tucham, like Prahlad Maharaj's prayer saying that, so this Maithunadi, like, the opposite gender union is very strong, but only when somebody progress in the path of bhakti and situated in pure devotional service, then it will become Tucham for him, like, it's very insignificant. But other than that, if somebody is still having these anarthas predominantly dominating them, like, this lust and all these things, what to speak of embracing a woman, even when they see a woman who is beautiful and showing some feminine gestures, that itself would attract. Even if somebody hears about those things also, it will attract many men in this world. So we hear in the pastime of Ajamila also, right? When he saw a Sudra woman who is in half naked and kissing a Sudra man, so it agitated him, his mind, so which caused to fall down from his Brahmanical path. So though he is very strong in Brahmanical duties, has a great good qualities, but still he fall down. So not only he fall down from Brahmanical path, so he performed many sinful activities. That's the power of this opposite gender union. So we have to be very cautious. We hear in even during Vishwamitra also, right? When he was performing austerity, just by hearing the ankle bells of the sound of ankle bells of Manaka, so his tapasya got broken. So it's very strong in this material world. So that's why one has to be very cautious in checking their anarthas. And then Pururva, Urvasi also saying that there are two lambs who have fall down with her. So she requested to give protection. And she is also mentioning that though she belongs to the heavenly planets, she can accept Pururva as her husband. Prabhupada also mentions that in the purport that when a superior woman who was born in a superior family, when she saw someone who is born in inferior community, but if he has a superior qualities, then he can accept, she can accept as her husband. So similarly, the other way also. So when a superior man and she sees a woman with good qualities, but although she appeared in inferior family, he can accept her as a wife like that. So the combination of male and female is worthwhile if the qualities of both are on an equal level like that. And in the next three slokas, we see that Urvasi is saying that her diet, like, she's saying that she will only eat preparation made in ghee, and she don't want to see him in naked except during the sexual intercourse. And Prabhupada also mentions in the purport that um, the standards of the higher planetary system living entities, like we see that they don't eat anything and everything. So here we see that people eating meat or eggs like that, but in the heavenly planets we see that they are very, very vegetarians. They eat very healthy food, ghee, with preparations made with ghee like that. And also they are not their behavior is very appropriate, like they don't want to be naked anytime and every time like that, except only at the time of sexual intercourse. So these we see that the conduct of heavenly planets is higher compared to the people of the earthly planets, at least people of Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, people, some of them, they wanted to be half naked, either man or woman, and some women they want to expose their feminine gestures like that, but that is not something we hear from the heavenly planet dungeons. And in the next sloka we see that so you are attracted to all human society. So Pururava is saying that, the beauty of the Urvasi is very attractive. Since she is came her own, she will, so she can stay with him and agree to serve as a demigod such as you, like that. And Sukadeva Goswami is continuing that how Pururva, along with Urvasi, engaged in sexual activities and passed many days with great jubilation. Of course, we'll continue to hear Pururva, but in this section we hear the power of the lust and the power of the pride. So we should be very cautious. These anarthas, and time to time we check ourselves and make sure that so they are not uprising, instead they are going down. So it can be only possible when we take up this process of Krishna consciousness and practice this sincerely and seriously by chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. And being in the association of the devotees, we can be able to reduce this or conquer these anarthas like lust and pride, all these things. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for giving this opportunity. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for very nice class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you all
Hare
devotees
Krishna.
for joining the class today.
Hare
Sorry,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.